What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing things a little different. As you can see over here, we got the bike in the air. So what we're doing today is it's time to change the rear tire out. Now, I've never had this bike in the air like this before, so this is kind of a new one for me. It was a little sketchy at first, but I got it done. I spared you all that, but I'll go ahead and show you what I've done. So what I have is a jack I got at AutoZone, a 3-in-1 jack for ATVs, cars, and motorcycles. For your Harley, I can't exactly recommend it because it does take a little bit of doing to get it up there because Harley sits so low and it doesn't exactly fit the bottom of the frame like we would like it to, but it is solid, it's up there good, and I've got it strapped down, so I don't really have any worries about it at this time. So as you can see what I've done here, I've just put some ratchet straps on it, and basically I have secured it to the jack itself here. It is critical to take the time to tie down your motorcycle like this. Even though it was pretty stable sitting up there by itself, just take the time to tie it down. You'll save yourself a lot of money and a lot of problems in the long run. So since I'm pulling the rear wheel off, my wife and I are getting ready to build a deck, I have these bags of concrete sitting here. So I made good use of them, put them under the front wheel. This is just in case when I pull the back wheel off, if things go south in a hurry and the bike decides to tip forward. But plenty of concrete, and like I say, on this channel, I really like to use what we got and try not to buy as many special tools as we need. So what we've got, as you can see, she's pretty solid. Looks pretty good. Everything's all tied down. Got her strapped to this jack here. It's all looking good so far. We're going to dig into the back tire back here. Man, I think I need a break after that one. But okay, enough of that. I'm going to show you guys the reason why we're changing the tire out today. Oh, and note, I'm not changing the tire out myself. I'm taking it down to have it done because this Sportster in particular, this B designation, that stands for bias ply, which means very, very rigid sidewall. Now, I did go back and forth on the tires on whether I was just gonna put 2 brand new Shinkos on it or just buy one Michelin, because I could have got 2 new Shinko tires for the price of the Michelin that came on the bike. Now, why I decided not to do that was because the front tire is still in pretty good shape. The bike's got almost 13,000 miles on it, and I could get a summer out of this tire, probably even a little bit of riding this winter out of the tire as well. So basically, I just decided to buy one replacement for the rear, and I'll catch the front next summer. Now, as you can see, the tire's not in bad shape. It's not even contacting the wear bars yet, so I feel pretty confident about this. Okay, back to the other reason why I went with the Michelin. The other reason why I went with the Michelin was I don't have the tools to do my own tires. Now, it would cost about $200 to get the tire irons, a balancer, or heck, even maybe just go buy a manual tire machine to do it. With the Shinkos, my thought was they're going to wear faster. And that's going to add up pretty quick if I'm going and having them installed like I am this time. I'm thinking, I would assume, I'm just making an assumption here and kind of from reading reviews, the Shinko gets about half as much as the Michelin gets out of it. That's kind of the reason why I went with it, is because I'm having to pay to do this. But if I were doing my own tires, I probably would have just put new Shinkos on it, not really worried about it, because after you do it a few times, you can knock it out in a couple hours and be done and not be held hostage by a shop, which I'm not a huge fan of going to shops because I don't like being held hostage. Now, as you can see, this old Michelin here has seen better days. Like I said, I could probably go drag racing on this and use it as a slick. I run this thing a lot longer than I should have. That is quite a difference in tread. I sure am missing the way this bike ran when the tire was new. Okay, but enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through all the working on it, this and that, and I'll probably end up voicing it over for you guys so I can kind of narrate the tools I'm working with, but I'm not going to bore you watching me struggle to get this rear wheel off. I'm just glad that I was able to get this bike high enough in the air. With this bike having the full fender on it, this tire isn't exactly going to come out of here any other way other than straight down. All right, guys, I'm going to get to work, and I'll be back with you here in just a few minutes. So there it was, guys. That was quite the job. Well, I wouldn't say quite the job. It took me longer to get the motorcycle up on the stand and everything, but as you can see, I mean, it really wasn't bad. I mean, had I been paying attention and not thinking about filming so much, I would have taken the brake caliper off first. But one thing to note, don't let your brake calipers hang. Now I've just got this guy sitting here. It's just sitting up on the foot peg. I'm gonna get a bungee cord or something and get it secured a little better. Down here, as you can see, we've got our spacer for the left side, the right side. I gotta move my caliper bolts over here since they go to this side. But we got the clip and we got the axle. And I'll get all these parts cleaned up and everything, but you can see what we've done here. We've got the belt just kind of hanging here. It'll be nice and easy to get it all kind of worked back in there. I didn't have to take the guard off or anything, which was nice. And being able to get the bike up on this little stand like this made the tire drop down easily. I just use this little bottle jack here with a board on top, kind of balance it. And also what that allowed me to do was to work the tire up to get it in line, keep the axle straight, and then since this axle, I was able to take a breaker bar, fit it right inside the axle with no chance of damaging the threads, and just lightly tap the axle out and just kind of follow it through while this held it up. Now, of course, before you ever start, go ahead and take this off first. I didn't even think about that at the beginning. Just got underneath it, kicked the bottle jack out of the way. I'm tired, guys, but it worked out pretty good. Maybe it is worth paying a little extra to have somebody else do it. Nah, it'd drive me crazy. I can't do that. But as you probably saw in the time lapse, I showed you this little 36mm wrench that I bought. Got this on Amazon. Pretty decent little tool. It's got a little spot in here to put your torque wrench in when you go back on. But like I say, just use a dead blow hammer to get the axle nut broke loose. I started to break it loose with my breaker bar, but I saw it was trying to twist inside this aluminum wrench. I thought, stop. So what we did was we took the breaker bar off, use a dead blow hammer, just kind of knock it loose. But right now is a good time to, while you got that wheel off, go ahead and feel your wheel bearings. Oh, they feel good on that side. No problem there. Let me check this side. Oh yeah. Feels good all the way through. So, good to go there. Make sure if you're taking it to a shop like I am, take pictures of your rims. Make sure you note any little dings, dents, or scratches. I'm a little nervous because these rims still look like they're brand new. So I haven't decided where I'm going to take it yet, but I'll let you know. Part 2 of this video is going to be going back together and my review of the shop I took it to and how much it cost and what all we did to get this tire done. Oh yeah, before I forget, make sure to clean your wheels, clean your sprockets up. I'm going to come in here while I got all this off. It's a great time to get in here. Clean your belt real good, inspect your belt. While you've got it off of here, it's a great time. You got a good view of it. My belt actually looks pretty dang good. 13,000 miles on it, but we're still going to inspect it and clean it. Great time to do anything that you want to do under here. So if you're running new wiring, new turn signals, that's a good time to get in there and get it done, guys. But all right, that's it. Kind of the sketchy looking little setup we have here. My camera can't decide on what it wants to do as far as light. I thought it was pretty sketchy, but so far it seems pretty solid. I guess we'll see between now and day or two when I get back out here to put this back together if it falls over or not. But all right, guys, there you have it. Till next time, you guys stay safe on the streets. Dodge the cars. Have a safe ride, and I'll see you guys next week.